Hello traders, Gary Wagner here, just about 9:30 in Honolulu, 3:30 in New York on Wednesday, the 10th day of June 2015, and this is the daily report for gold and silver. Can we say lower dollar? We certainly can, and a net result, one of the net result, is a spurt, tremendous spurt in the precious metals markets, with gold currently trading up about $8 on the day, $8.20, current tick at 1185.80. Now it's had a low of 74.30 and a high of 91.80. Now, when we compare silver in terms of the net gain, comparing that to gold, gold was up 0.69% on the day, with silver only up 0.08%. Currently trading just under 1597. It has had a high of 1619 and a low of 1588 on the day. So traders, as we said, we do have the dollar trading under some fairly dramatic pressure, off almost 0.5% on the day, 94.63. We've talked about the fact that a lot of gold, of course, it's paired with gold, the U.S. dollar is paired with gold, but we've talked about this increased volatility in the dollar really having that dramatic influence on the price of gold. We'll look at some of these gold charts in a second, but just to give you an idea of what we're looking at, currently up around $9.90 in gold. Of that, $6.60, two-thirds of that, is directly due to a weak U.S. dollar. We do have some buying, though, coming into the market. This buying coming into the market is accounting for about 28% of that net gain. And so, therefore, we've got about a $10 rise currently on the market. Also, look at silver. When we look at silver trading, currently 1601 is the bid on that. The dollar's giving it that same value, almost a 0.60% rise. However, it's actually trading negative today, and that's what's accounting for the smaller move in silver. So as we take a look at the dollar and where we think it might be going, and of course that's critical as we chart gold, so it's something that we always want to keep our eye on, I draw your attention to our daily chart. Let me go ahead and blow that up here. And when we blow the dollar chart up, we have a particularly interesting scenario in that these lows that we hit roughly at about 93, and this of course is back in May, the question is whether or not this completion, or if in fact we have completed, I should say, this wave 4 here, if that's the case, if we've actually completed this wave 4 here, because it does match with the different areas that we think it could fall to, then we could actually move into a wave 5 impulse phase once again with something like a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 going over the top here. The question is whether or not we have washed out the short plays. We are absolutely trading lower now. And so the real question is, have we actually completed this wave 4 as this system is telling us we might have? So that's something that we're going to want to keep a close eye on, because if we start seeing dollar strength return, well, we know the adverse effect that that's going to have on the precious metals, specifically gold and silver. Those have had such a difficult play. Even when the dollar's weakening, it's had a difficult play. If we return to the proverbial salmon swimming upstream, the salmon make it each year to spawn, but whether or not gold can continue to rise in light of that is another thing altogether. And traders, for a more detailed analysis of the dollar index, yesterday for our new expansion of the gold forecast that I'm tentatively labeling a trend chartist, I did cover the dollar index yesterday, so we've got a full video giving you a detailed overview, long-term view of gold as we see it now. So traders, now to silver. As you know, we are still in an active trade in silver. We have moved our stop down to 1625, entering the short position at around 1650. When we pull up our daily chart, we can see that we are certainly still in a sell mode. However, we're well from being extremely overbought here. You wouldn't enter at this point. Also, when we look at the dynamics of the current channel that the market's been trading in, we can see that we're following that tact or that angle pretty eloquently, meaning it still appears as though this market does want to move lower, but we are, I believe, getting close to some sort of a bottom. Now, where might a bottom be in silver? Well, the one thing that we're going to do is look at just some basic trend analysis. 1650, you've got this bottom here. Absolutely, that could be a place that we find support if in fact it continues to go lower, excuse me. Now, you've got these lows that are just above this area, but you can see we've breached that over the last couple of trading days. So that's a mark that we could have hit, and if it finds support here, we'll note that it went a little bit under that area and began to pop up. But on a technical basis, it's not a really logical area. And as I said, when we look at 1650, you get that. You also get this particular area here. So we've got some good technical history over this year. Why 1650? This being what, about 1550, excuse me, and 1540 in that area. So we've got some solid blocks right here where, in fact, if we find this market continue to drift lower, I would look to cover at around 1550. That to me would be a mark that we could find some support. It's a logical point, most importantly because we've got some really good historical reference points leading us to that conclusion. This has been Gary Wagner wishing you as always good trading, and we'll talk to you tomorrow for another daily update and review. Bye-bye.